Right. So I've given you a couple of handouts. I've given you a search strategy, literature search strategy sheet, and you might wish to use it. It might be something that you find useful, and you can use this to start thinking of how you're going to organise your searching. So that's it there. And what we'll be doing is I'll be working through this, and I'm going to ask for contributions as well as we work through this, just to kind of hopefully get you motivated to start. So I've given you a handout here. A construction. I've also given you a guide to referencing. Have you all got the guide? When I finish, I've got to get some more, and we've got plenty upstairs, so I'll give you a handout upstairs. And that's fairly self-explanatory. But keep that by your side when you're doing this. You probably already know it off by heart how to reference. But what it does, for those of you that's new here, is it gives you a kind of guide to the referencing standards that we use at books. It's not hard to reference. It's just the only way to learn is by actually doing it. And that's a quick and easy reference tool. You might not need it after a few weeks, right? You might just say, right, I'll leave this any longer. But it's there for you if you need it. Right before I start my going through this, I'm just going to have a look at what it is. The process of writing literature review starts with a literature search. I'm going to have to write a literature review, so we're doing the searching today. This is what we're going to do. Hopefully I can make it very quick and easy for you to do. By the end of this session, you'll be able to do perhaps your literature search. It might only take a day or two, hopefully it'll help you get you going. Literature searching is gathering the most relevant and authoritative secondary sources on a topic. Fairly straightforward. So that's okay. So we can use the internet. We can go to Google, and but we've got to be careful when using that, because the problem with quotes found on the internet is that they're often not true. That was Abraham Lincoln wrote that. So be careful of illusion when you're using the internet. It's so obvious. I get caught in it as well. Still, I get caught up in fake news. I'm a librarian. I'm meant to know better, but I don't. I kind of. You just really when you're under fire when the adrenaline gets going with dissertation, the nerves start kicking in, and you start catching at straws. You think, oh God, that's good. Think about it. Really step back. Take 10 deep breaths and think about it. Because you get marked out if you're going to quote someone who's an absolute idiot. There's a lot of idiots out there who do this. People had one too many drinks, gone back, written a load of stuff, and next thing they know, it's spreading around the world and people believe it. So think about that. So that's to start off with. And how these, fairly obvious as well. I have certain friends, they told me all I knew. Their names are what, why, when, and where, and who. So those are questions always have in your head about, because you're going to have to think critically about what you've got when what you're using. When you do your literature review, you're going to have to. It's evidence. The literature review is evidence for your argument, or evidence against your argument. So you can weigh two sides of a particular argument. Is global warming real? So you've got two sides. You've got two sides, and those that disagree, those that agree. Why, what, why, when, where, and what is the website stating? Is the website stating information as fact, If it's factual information, how do you know it's correct? Just think of all that, have those questions in mind. So is the information detailed enough for what you need? What evidence is given back to back up what you said? What are the sources you find to check the information? Pretty obvious stuff, so that's really quite important. Thinking critically. This is thinking critically. Why are they saying it? What agenda the authors might have, and therefore how that might bias the information. Is it political? Are they political? Are they pro-Brexit, against Brexit, or whatever? If you have found information about a particular drug, it's a web page produced by the company which there's a vested interest in selling the drug, there's a commercial interest. So all that kind of stuff, pretty obvious. Where does this information date from? Always try to check how up to date the information is. If you're doing something on sustainable building, something might be useful in the 60s, but we've come a long way since then. There's a lot of new technologies that have been produced. So does the page say when it was last updated? Is the website generally being maintained, or the links work? So things like that, pretty obvious again, but something just to carry with you. Where are they from? If you found the page through a link on the web search, I'm not sure where it comes from, look for the home page or an about us or something. Does a page or author give a real world postal address and phone number? Does a web address, type of web address, tell you anything about the authors? For example, web addresses .ac.uk are universities. So you could use that stuff. It's pretty, anything .ac.uk might be a good authoritative thought. They might have a good... there's a lot of research papers stacked in university repositories. Who is saying it? Can I trust the person or organisation behind this web page? Are they likely to have the facts right? Are they recognised authority on the subject? Do they have other books and journal articles that refer to them? Are they cited? So that's another word, cited. Are they cited? Is there bibliography of articles, reports, books and other publications, etc. So that's kind of those things, those questions. What, why, when, where, and who. If you have those, you can't go wrong. Just go, thinking about each one. Pretty simple stuff, but something in the heat of the day, in the heat of the assignment that you can get can become a bit foggy, but just keep that in mind. And then we come on to literature searching now. So this is where we start to get a bit. Was there another late someone else who? So we're not long. We just started just going through that. So this year is a literature search strategy. It's something that I thought might be helpful to you, just to kind of rein it in, to be making notes all the place and figuring out in your brain. I think when you're doing this kind of big piece of work, it can go off on tangents. When you're doing an essay, it's quite easy to perhaps hold the whole stuff in your head and you don't need to make so many notes. But for this, it's quite a big piece of work, a dissertation, so you've got to try and break it down and make it more manageable. Do it in easy stages and you'll be absolutely fine with it. So I could come here with a whole set of prepared searches, just at a title, and just whack it up on PowerPoint and just have to run through it. But I thought I'd make it a bit more interesting. We'll do this live. If anyone's got any suggestions on a kind of working title for a dissertation, anything, any words, any random thing that you'd like to think about.
Well, the one I'm starting off with is, does the duty to cooperate work?
Does the...
Does the duty to cooperate work?
Okay, fine. Does the duty to... So we scratching out a working title. Don't worry about having the cooperate work. So, in what respect?
So, in terms of the role that it's sort of from different directions, does it work in the way it was originally set out to do? Does it work as a concept? It's still in very kind of early stages of it.
With respect to planning?
Yes, sorry, yeah.
So
strategic local planning, yeah.
Does the duty to cooperate work in strategic...
I guess local planning.
Local planning. We'll come back to it later, but okay, great. So I think of right. You said the question below. We want to choose a topic that is neither too broad or too narrow. You don't want it too broad, otherwise you're going to end up awash with information. You don't know where you're going to go. It's going to be completely, crazy, you're going to get pulled in all these directions. So you kind of want to rein it in and not too narrow. If you have it too focused, then you're going to struggle to find other people that's written about this work, and you want to keep that really specialised, and it will take you a long time to research it as well, up to 3 years, and you're looking at a PhD. So if you've got one that's really narrow that you really like to investigate further, park that for now, get through your masters and then go and do a PhD, because that'd be really good topic there. So we've got a working title. I've never worked through this before, and
there's some other kind of buzzwords where you can find out more. It's not always explicitly called.
No, well, we're going to work through this. So we might come back to it and we'll amend it as we go along. So I'm just showing you how a process works. And not probably going to come up with the right answer for this, but we're going to kind of work through it and come up with something that might be usable, certainly for searching for literature and for looking to see what other people have written about this. So we got keywords there. So we've got cooperate. That's the immediate one. Cooperate, perhaps. We've got, we could put local planning, strategic local planning as a local planning as a phrase. When I do that, do you know what that does? I put in. That's useful for searching. When you put into Google or you put into any library search engine, it will get that together as a kind of phrase. Clearly that's a good way of using quotation marks. So you could, do we need duty? You could put duty.
I think
is there a duty?
Duty to cooperate is the kind of term.
Yeah, okay, duty to cooperate.
It's in legislation.
I'm not a planner, by the way, so you're going to have to help me out with the terminology here. So we got those keywords, and we got some what I'm suggesting next in the next box is to think of alternative terms. So after that, what alternatives?
Collaboration.
Great, collaboration.
Participation.
Huh?
Participation.
Participation.
Consultation. Yeah.
Probably localism. because
Localism,
that, it's just the name of the bill that brought it in.
Yeah, localism. Duty, would there be another?
You could go cross-boundary.
Cross-boundary.
Is another cross-boundary planning is another term.
Yeah, all of it, just bung it in. Any.
Development planning.
Yeah.
Development needs.
Yeah, Dan Kane in it really. Cross-boundary planning. Development. Yeah. Is it a statutory duty?
It is. It is the duty put on local planning authorities to work with one another to deliver housing and employment. That's
okay, so right now let's get. So you mentioned deliver housing, so we can go back to our initial title now. So we brainstormed on that. So do we want to kind of make that less general?
Yeah.
Does the duty to cooperate work in strategic local planning? Is that in the UK, USA, Australia?
To deliver housing growth. I suppose it's a very, but I think because I'm still not sure whether I want to look at it as a model or a past case study of whether it has worked.
Yeah.
I suppose it's still, I don't,
for the case of this exercise, should we say housing?
Yeah, in delivering housing. Or
In work for delivering housing. And then we got in the UK, obviously.
Yeah.
UK. Right, okay. That's great. So it's coming along, isn't it, Dan? We're getting somewhere. So then we can go into back down to keywords. You've got UK, you've got housing, and we've got down here in the alternative keywords, Great Britain. We've got housing. Any other keywords for housing?
Residential.
Residential, accommodation, is it?
Just growth.
So, I mean, and so on and so on, you know, but I mean, that's roughly what I'm doing is I'm structuring it, and if you structure it, it kind of maybe gets rid of some of the fog, you know, for some of you, you're quite happy with working with that chaos and coming back to it, but for searching, it's probably not a bad idea to make just sit down and spend about half an hour just doing this sort of thing. And then, you know, think about synonyms, acronyms, American terminology, alternative spellings, truncation. Well, I mean, I put one example down the bottom there, we've got it here, so we could think of house. Truncation is cutting off the end of the word, so if I put house with an asterisk there, that would it won't work like that in Google, but it'll work in the library search engine searches. If I put house with an asterisk, it will cut off the end of the word. So by doing that, it's going to search for houses and housing, if you follow what I mean. Or build will be another one with an asterisk to search for buildings and builders. So, resi. And so forth. So, and then combining your keywords, think of how you're going to do it to narrow down your searching, you know, so we're going to be thinking of maybe strategic local planning and housing perhaps, you know, and maybe we want to put duty to cooperate in, that might come up in the search, so we can fiddle around with the keywords by just combining, so we can put strategic local planning and housing. And then limiting. Think of how you limit it. I talked about this earlier, how you rein it all in to make it less general. How far back do you want to go then?
I think the law was in 2010.
Okay, so maybe 2010. From 2010. So, we've got it with UK focus. So we put UK, and we've got we're going to building type. We think of housing, maybe residential housing for now. Housing. So, and then think of your sources. Live research, academic research can be, business source can be general, Google Scholar or whatever. You know, there's many others. Are we coming on to that next? Now we've got this structure. We're going to put it into practice now. What I kind of would do is we could do is just copy and paste that into library search. You could put that into library search. See what it does. That's what I do. I just start with libraries. Think about using the library resources. When I showed that image earlier of our friend Abraham Lincoln, is there. We had that. The problem is I would stay away from Google at this point. You know, just use the library sources, because that's going to give you the best marks. You know, if you go into Google, then you're going to struggle and maybe filter the information you need. I will be showing you how to filter the information later on once I've shown you demos of the library resources. But really focus on the library resources for now, because that's what you've paid for. And we should have most of the stuff that you need. So, coming back. So, I put it all in, and at first sometimes it'll work. You can be lucky. But in this case, it's not going to work, you know. Just to show you that we probably need to go back to our keywords. You can scroll down and, there's one there. Local Planning for Sustainable Development 2010. That might be of use, you know. So, yeah, it's brought up something. But, but what you can do is just, let's try and break it down. So, shall we just put and housing. See what that does. So I'm just playing around with it and just having a look to see what's happening. Yeah, and yeah, it's a book. That's 2007. Tells you what strategic planning is. You might want to be using that. Politics planning and homes in the world city might be useful. Use books. I wouldn't stay away from books. Use books. Books are very useful. Even go to the section of the library. Think of the shelf mark there. If that's relevant, go to that section of the library and have a look. Just browse along the shelves. Books are great because they contain chapters with references at the end, and you can use some of those references as well. So, planning and the new localism. Yeah, probably okay. Maybe. So there's a few books there dealing with it. And we've got we've got 24,000 results up there. I mean, that's a heck of a lot to be wading through. So we could put in our quotes up there. See if that narrows it down. Oops. Link it together as a phrase. And yeah, go down to still quite a lot, 3,000, so we go last 10 years, change it, and you're sort of getting there. And then you've got the various filters down there. So you can play around with it, and what you're going to end up with is a selection. This is searching for journal articles, good quality journal articles, and books, a whole range of resources. So you could just narrow it down to full text if you just want online stuff, and so forth. Have a play around with it. And you notice this one here, it's got cite next to it. It's usually citation style, Harvard. And if you want to use any of these, just copy and paste that then into your reference list. So that's kind of a useful little tool when you're doing it. But you can also email and save it to the searches, and then anyone, rather than taking a photograph of the screen, we can do that. So if we look at this one, for example, we load up. There we are. So if you scroll down to the bottom there, there's a nice abstract at the top there. You can check to see if there's anything of use to you there. You can make notes of keywords that are suggested, and then go to the end, and there's a reference list at the end, and you might want to follow these up, and you can copy and paste the article into our library search. If we haven't got it, then what you can do is copy and paste it into there, see if we have it. Might not have it, but we might have it. I've got no way of knowing. Yeah, we've got that one. But if we, in the case that we haven't got it, then you can order it via any articles via the interlibrary loan service. And a small fee that will enable you to have it within a day or so. So it's subsidised rather than going out and buying it. Never buy any stuff online, because we should be able to get it for you. Or alternatively, you can use other libraries. You can use the Bodleian. Have any of you taken up Bodleian membership? You know, it's free to you. It's free as students. We have the application forms. Application forms are available at the library help steps, so you can use that.
So which library?
That's a Bodleian library. So I should explain what the Bodleian library is. Bodleian library is at the Oxford University main library. It's one of several legal deposit libraries in the UK. That means, by legal deposit, I mean they get a copy of every book or any journal that's published in the UK. So they have to have a copy by law. So does the British Library, Cambridge, and Edinburgh, and Welsh Library, and the Scottish Library and Welsh Library. So that's Bodleian Library. So details about that are available on the thing. So you can join that, you can obtain that, get your application form from the Library Help Zone, and you can go down there and study. And you can use their library resources as reference. But to use their electronic resources, you have to be in their library itself. And it's free. It's free. So you're paying, for an interlibrary loan, you're paying £3 per article. If you think, right, I've got 5 articles here, that's 15 quid. Well, take yourself down to the Bodleian Library and get your articles and do a bit of work there, and then treat yourself either in the Western Cafe with the money you save from that, or in the King's Arms at pub or whatever, you know. So Yeah, nice that we have access to that. It's really great that we got access to that. So make you haven't thought of using it before, but for this kind of big piece of work where you're looking for lots of resources, you might want to think of having a look to see if it can offer you anything. So that's using my research. Do you have any questions? It's fairly simple. It's as simple as that. That's how simple it is.
Just on the, when you had all the journals that it had, you could save it. Does that save it into a list?
Yeah, and then you can forward that.
And then does that personally save to your account? Like if I went in and out of it, would it remember what I had to click to save?
I'll have a look. To be honest, I don't use it. So if you buy items up there, that's right.
But does that?
Yeah, I think it just does it for that particular search.
Right, okay.
I think if you signed in, it would save it then.
Yeah.
If you signed in with your library login, then it would do that. But then at the end of the search, what you can do is, what I would do is the way I use it, I do it rather than keeping them forever. I just I save them all. I save all the ones I would want. Change the interface of this. So we go up there, select all items, then email them to yourself. That's the way I would use it. And very good question. Really, really great. And that will then stay. You'd have that as a record then. Email. So see if you have to take photographs.
Do they email as a link, or do you then have to go back into the library, put in?
You just email it to your Brooks email address or whatever address you want. So if I did it to my own, it'd be in my inbox. So if I put that's it. So that's it. So that should be, whoops, see if it's there. It should come in. There we are. And that's how it would thing, and then you've got the clickable, and then instead you have to go through all that.
Yes, that's a direct link, then you click that and open it back up
Yeah.
in the library.
So that will be a very useful tool. Any other questions about library search? We got advanced search there. You could play about with that, where you can search under, where you can choose to search under title if you're looking for a particular resource or type of phrase, and then you can filter it down there to various journal books or whatever. But have a play around with that. It's not too difficult. So we go back to library homepage. We're going to find a database. If you look at that, it gives you the full. That's every database. So it's in the library for a whole range of subjects, and you can select from the list as well. You might be doing. This is good if you doing a dissertation. You might be doing something on schools. You might be interested in looking at the education databases, those for education or for hospital.
I have a general question when looking on the library. I don't know what category planning is considered under, because it seems to fall under several.
Yeah, well, planning would be, well, I put them all in built environment. So what the reason is because this cuts across a lot of subjects in the built environment. I would within that, architecture stands on its own. But if you click on any of the built environments like construction, real estate, or planning, it'll take you there. So I mean, real estate will take you to the real estate databases. So, and likewise, we've got subject help here. We've got that there, which same thing, but that would not take you. That would take you to the general subject help. So you might be looking for some economics information. You might want to look at the business web pages. We've got a whole lot of company information and so forth, country information, statistics, and everything else to do with business sources. And likewise for education, if you're doing something on school, but for planning, for architecture, we've got one there. So if you're looking for information on tall buildings or sustainable building, sustainable architecture, there's lots of stuff there as well. So make full use of the library really. And we've got planning, which is that, and got guides to information, again, for a range of the other subjects to do with the environment, but some subject headings there for books to go along to the thing. I've got websites all bundling together, and planning real estate, because there's a lot of what you've got is crossover now, where they've merged, they've converged really, planning and real estate surveying. So it's kind of like the undergraduate degree is now called planning and property development. It's not. There's no undergraduate pure planning degree. So we've got databases. So you're searching these, you're using like the similar techniques. We've got housing, maybe we can do these as well. Library search should pick it up, but not always. It's quite nice to do have a belt and braces approach to this, you know, to make sure that you've covered everything. So we can academic search complete as a library of journal articles with good scholarly stuff, and you can see we've got a range of stuff, and again there we can use this in the same way as we use the library search. You can put the plus signs on there, and you can then look at the keywords again and the abstract.
Which library is this?
This is Academic Search Complete. This is under the, if I follow, retrace my footsteps, what I've done is I've gone into, there's the library, subject help, selected planning, and databases, and that's Academic Search Complete. And that is it's a collection of, when I say databases, it's kind of really a library. It's a collection of online journal articles, good quality online journal articles. Get good marks using this kind of stuff. So, very easy to use. I mean, so you just put your keywords in. Where I've got a bit lost with it. So we can do it again. So we've got strategic planning, and make sure you spell it correctly. It doesn't autocorrect. And we've got housing. Or we could try strategic local planning. So it kind of narrows it down again. I don't know if there's anything relevant there, but not all of them will maybe have what you want. You just got to come away then, and if it doesn't look like the content's there, it's working. And you can get a list of the publications that's covered each one by clicking on there to see if the content's there for what you need. So we've got another one, that's Avery Index Publications, that's more for architecture, but you make use of it as well, it would be pretty good. Works in pretty much the same way, so put your search terms in there, and Business Source Complete is another one of that EBSCO family. They're all different collections, so we can put strategic, local planning and housing See what that throws up. Not really. You could put UK in there as well. I mean, let's put UK. Let's see if that narrows it down. Filter it out. So it's just what I'm doing is just trying to, yeah. So any ones that you want, just add to the folder. Got your folder there, and again you can sign in if you wish to. Select all and then email them to yourself, print or whatever. So that's a few there. Moving on. Emerald Insight, DCP Online. That's a good one for UK planning. So we can put strategic. Have you used DCP Online? Strategic local planning. Let's see what that does in housing. Let's see if that does it. Yeah. So you've got a lot of stuff to do with it, that on here, so maybe.
Is there an advantage to using similar specific sort of subject-specific databases over and above a more general database at this stage that might find a broader range of basic results?
Well, we've got Emerald. You're just using, I'm just going into each one to see what they've got. I do everything. I cover everything. Because if it's quite a specialist topic, you might want to be scrambling around for you might think, oh, I've only got 3 here.
So you'd suggest we look at...
Yeah, I would look at what everything has. That's the way I would do it. I mean, how are you doing it? That ends up, is your project ready? But yeah, make sure, these are all library paid for resources, by the way, so make sure you make full use of these. So I'm just highlighting what we have really, and so we've got subject help, got planning again, databases. So we had a quick look at DCP Online. That's probably got quite a few things that we need. Emerald Insight. This is another one, good one for the built environment. Works in pretty much the same way. Seems to be. Sometimes they get a bit stuck, but it seems to be working out. So we can put your general search term, strategic local planning and housing. And that works in. Put some quotes in there. Link it together. I spelled it wrongly as well, so it's not going to pick up. The library databases don't always autocorrect, so if you draw in a blank, or you've got a muddled set of results and you think, oh, I didn't expect that, just check what you've typed in up there before you give up on it. So yeah, we got some stuff there as well, and that works in, well, I've only got one, but perhaps you might want to amend your search terms, so you swap them around, you play around with your search terms till you get something that you need, but that's got really very little to do. That might have something. I'm also a good one for some of the built environment stuff. That's worth pursuing. Planning databases. So
Ends report, that gives a lot of stuff on sustainability stuff. Factiva, now this one contains, I don't know how useful it is for planning, but it's certainly got some built environment content on there. I would check it. We've got the Financial Times, we've got things like Property Week on there, Construction News, but it has a lot of planning stuff. It have certainly some of the broadsheets on there, so we can try this now, see if it brings up anything. So this is for newspapers, really, newspapers and magazines, so you can put local planning no, it's fine, we don't need to put UK. I'll show you how this works now. Right, so yeah, we've only got 5 with those 2 search terms, but yeah, we've got planning as well, planning magazine on here as well, so you could modify the search. And you could add sources planning. So planning UK. So you could run that search again, but with just planning. That would just search for planning. So we clicked on that, so it's highlighting that. So yeah, but you play around with that again, you might come up with something. So another one to use. Have you all used Digimap? You've used that. Do you know what Digimap is? Anyone not know?
Is there a good Digimap?
Yeah, there is. Have you done GIS? Do you do GIS? Geographical Information Systems? Well, I'll just show you anyway what Digimap is. So you've got Digimap from there, you can choose it from there, or it's on the general list of A to Z list of databases. You find it from there. Go to Digimap from there, just click on it, scroll down. So it's got all the Ordnance Survey maps online. You might want to be using maps, a quick map to show the area that you're looking at, you know. So Ordnance Survey, going to Rome. It's very easy to use. So if we put in Oxford, if you haven't used it, have a play around with it. Have you all, hands up, always used it? As patient. Are you all comfortable with it?
Right, can you import GIS data into Digimap?
Graham Wood would be the person to see about that. He is your go-to person. So if you want to make a note of that, Graham Wood is a person that can do all the whizzy stuff with GIS and to import stuff as well. Yes, you can. Yeah, and he'll. Yeah, you can. It's a World Map Service. You can get data put in, and so this Ordnance Service differs to Google Maps. So we're going to. What you can do is you can create a map. You just grow some trees there, and then and then you can do this. You can put a pyramid, and you can measure that. You can do all sorts of really interesting. You can play around with it all day. But then what you can do is then you can print that out or save it as a JPEG file. If you want to use it in your dissertation, you just go to the print there. Probably not PDF if you want to embed it into a Word document or a PowerPoint presentation or a dissertation. Just there, put give it a title and generate print file. And then that's how it would look then to put into your project. So you've got a map there. You can it's got scale bars down there. And then you can print it out by just right-clicking, pressing print. So that's Digimap. Any questions about that? Very easy to use. Got good. There's lots of podcasts available on it as well. So we've got there's resources up there. What is Digimap and podcasts and everything. So it's very intuitive and very easy to use. We've got global Digimap, got LiDAR, aerial environments. So if you've got a project that's requiring that kind of data, well, make use of that. And it's free for you to use. So, right, other stuff. We have dissertations in the library as well. You can do that by searching for particular things, better planning, library search, and then you can put planning dissertations actually if you want. Does it have a filter down here? Thesis, and there you go. So you can put in what you want and bring out the dissertations that you did. We have in our library storeroom, and you can ask it help zone and they'll get it out of the storeroom for you. If I have a list up by the help zone as well, a printed list that you can just look through. Also, referencing and plagiarism, we've got that if you want to revise up what referencing is. And we've got EndNote as well, that's reference management software. If you haven't used it, it's very easy to use. You can set yourself up an account to use EndNote Web, and we have training going on throughout the semester on various weeks, week 4, week 5, week 7, week 8. You might want to think about using that. It's very, saves you a lot of time with referencing. I use it myself for courses that I do here, and it's really, really good. But if you want me to run a session for you, if a few of you get together, I'm happy to put one on if you'll email me as a group or whatever.
What does it exactly do? What does it exactly
I'll show you. 50-second video.
Fed up with red marks all over your bibliography? You need EndNote. Store all your references in one place, add your own notes, and then generate a beautiful bibliography. It's easy. In a few simple steps, the references that you've stored in EndNote can be inserted directly into your essay, and your bibliography will appear at the bottom of your work. Check out the library EndNote web pages for more information.
In that mark, 50 seconds to show you how much good. It is that easy, it's great. It's easy to get set up with it, it's easy to use. We'll spend about an hour reading through the instructions. And I say...
I use EndNote in 5 minutes.
Oh. So yeah, well, I don't have 5 minutes, but you can watch these when you have the time.
Reference from an online database using PubMed as an example. 2. How to create a custom group and add references to it. 3. How to use find full text to download PDFs for references. 4. How to insert a reference in a Word document. 5. How to format a bibliography using the APA style as an example. 6. How to add page numbers to a citation. The first method of importing is online search.
Anyway, I'll leave that for you to look at another time. I think I'm just going to move on and just cover a couple more things that I'll show you. Google, right? Google, okay. Where's our... Let's type that into Google. I told you about Google earlier and about stuff online, but there's a way you can use Google. Some of you may not have used it this way before. So we just typed a whole lot in Google, but you can go into settings now, and you can go into advanced search, and if we go down, we can put in .ac.uk and choose format, PDF, and what that's done is filtered it to look at all the university reports and put them in their own collections of research papers. And that's pretty good stuff to use. You can use that, so it's kind of filtered good. So, you know, to say, or PDF, say, or .ac.uk domains. So if you haven't, that's quite useful. A lot of people don't know about this little bit of simple functionality.
Is that through the setting?
Yeah. If we go back, I typed in that as a title. We could refine it. We could put our quotation marks in there. And settings, advanced search, and .ac.uk, and any format, PDF. So we can go back, we can do an advanced search again. Instead of putting .ac.uk, we can put .gov.uk in there. And that will bring up all the UK government to look through the local authorities and stuff as well. Pretty useful too. So I'll play around with that. Don't forget about that one. Say about Google, it's great, but when you use it properly, it's good from that point of view. And then, do you use Google Scholar? Yeah, Google Scholar. So there's another bit of functionality there. Google. So you can put it, if you've got those three lines on there, going to settings, library links, and you put in Oxford Brookes University into your laptops. Don't probably, do it here as well, yeah. Brookes University. Probably not much. You probably don't need to do it on those so much, but and then click that. So I think you log in with student details there, you might recognise it, I'm not sure. But you can do it as a and then put in strategic, local planning, planning, and planning. So it's recognising you as a Brookes student. So if it recognises that you're a Brookes student, it's linking you up with our electronic library, so it's trawling our electronic library and bringing out all these links to say we have them. When you're using it, if you find there's one there that we just don't have, just order it via interlibrary loan, or perhaps go to the Bodleian Library. But there's another thing that you might not have known as well is the settings, and there's a button as well that you can put on your browser as well. And it's been added up there, and you can type in this up there. I think that's pretty much everything, really. I think like we have an A to Z, site A to Z, so it's got everything you need is on here. Our Atlas of Maps guides, statistics, put down there, statistics, maybe SPSS statistics, there you are, UK statistics data sets, for example, and so forth. So it's all, a lot of stuff there for you, should be okay. Any questions? If you get stuck, just go into subject help, go into planning, whatever, and there's my contact details there, so just send me an email if there's stuff you're struggling around to get. But I think you'll be okay. Best of luck with it.
Thank you.
Okay. I just hope some of that was useful.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm sorry about the room, because I was getting a little bit faint there. The heat of it. I think the air conditioning is working a lot more. That will lose a bit of concentration. Okay. I'm getting to know those rugby players feeling like I was just hand out.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.